Everybody, so today I thought I would do a video for our Just for Fun card today, and I'm going to use this super cute Moe's digital pencil image called Love Signs, and I'm going to color my image with just 12 colors today so I can show you that you can go ahead and make a really cute picture and not break the bank with a million Copics. So I'm going to do that with just the 2 colors. And if you buy your Copics so that you have 2 colors close together on the color range, it will work out best. So like R22 and R21, or YR24 and YR21. So I've already printed my image out on Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock with my printer. So let's color. Alright, so I'm going to outline my image with C0. So I'm just going to go all the way around my girl here. And I'm going to start down here at this little string. And just go all the way around, and let's go ahead and do the string too, as long as we're going around here. And I'm not worried about getting the color on her too much because it's really light, so if I do get it on her, I can just go in and erase it with my colorless blender. Or if I'm using dark colors on part of where I've got it, I don't worry, I just color right over it. And we're going to go up here, around our balloon. And just go all the way around. And go up here around her hair. And we're going to go work our way back down to her shoe here. And let's do the string. Okay, so we just went all the way around and give her a little bit of an outline. So now let's do the ground she's standing on. And for that we're going to add C2. So I'm going to grab my C2 and I'm going to start right here in the middle of her boot. And then just brush this color away from her. And let's go down here and do this boot. And I think I want my color to come out just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here, like that. And then I'm going to take my C0, and just to soften the edge, I'm going to go right over the edge of that and pull it out however far you would like. And then if you like it to be a little bit darker, you can go back with your C2 and just brush a little bit underneath of her again, giving it just a little bit more of a shadow. Like that. Alright, since we have the C0 pen out, let's go ahead and do her socks. And for that, I just took the tip of my pen and I went like on her socks underneath these little wrinkles just a little bit. And same for this side. And I also used this on her little skirt here. So I went right underneath all these cute little ruffle things. And then down the inside. And I did this little wrinkle she's got. And then we're going to go down the other side. And along the edge there, just like that. Next, let's go do her skin. And for that, I'm going to use E21 and E00. And then for her cheeks, I'm going to add R20. So I'm going to start with my E21 first. And I'm going to take just the tip of my pen and do a small line next to where her skirt touches her leg. And down the inside of both sides. So we'll do this side. And then I'm going to go underneath of her little knee bump she's got right there. Then I'm going to grab E00. And we're going to just... And I make sure I touch the E21 with my E00 so that it softens that line and color out here away from that line. And then I'm going to go with E21 again, and we're going to go up here and we're going to work on her arm. So I'm going to draw a small line underneath of her sleeve, down her arm, and over this little crook right here. And then right here I'm going to get close to her skirt and then up the inside of her fingers and underneath this little wrist bump she's got there. And then let's do the bottom side of each finger. And then for this side, I'm going to do, she's got some little wrinkles there in her hand, so I want to do inside that and where her fingers touch her hand. And let's do the bottom of her arm. And she's got a little crease right here where her elbow is, where her arm is bent. I also want to do the bottom of her palm right here. And then I'm going to go with E00. And again, we're just going to touch down on the E21 and pull out onto our white and cover up the rest of her hand. Let's pull that right over here. And finish off her fingers there. Okay, then we're going to go do her neck. So let's do E21 again. And I'm going to go underneath of her chin. And she's got this little whoop-de-doo on her neck, so I'm going to do that. And then let's go up here into her ear. Okay, and then I want to outline her face. So I'm going to just go right up here by her little part and go all the way around her face. Down along her finger. And to the side too. Like that. And then I want her nose to have a little bit of a definition. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm just going to draw a small line like that on her face. And I'm going to grab E00. We're going to fill in her neck. And her ears. I don't forget those. And then I'm just going to touch down on my E21 and pull that color into the center. Not too bad. And then I'm going to do R20 for her cheeks. So I'm going to do a little rosy cheeks and a little rosy cheek, and I'm going to do her little lips. And then I go with my E00 again and just brush over those. That way too, if I didn't get all the lines mixed in, this will help soften those again a second time. And if you want her cheeks darker, you just go over them again. Add a little color. And you've got a cute little face. So for her hair, we're going to use W8 and W6. I'm going to start with W8. And let's start on this top ponytail right here. I'm going to add a few little flicks right here where the little band is. Okay, I'm liking that. And then I also want to go up from the bottom down here. So I'm going to go, well actually I'm going to do it this way so I can get it started here, because that's a little bitty spot. We don't want to color all the lines there. Okay, and then we're going to flick up. As I'm flicking, my line is getting smaller at the end. All right, and let's add some color on this side of our little rubber bands. Like that. And same for going away from her face. And we're going to do this side. And away from her face. Away from her little scrunchie. And of course this side of her ponytail. And again, let's do this little cute little, gets really small down there at the bottom, her little braid there, her little pigtails. And I bring this color up just a little bit more. Now I'm going to go with W6. I'm not going to fill it all the way in. I'm going to leave some little patches of white. So again, I'm touching down on top of my W8 and then flicking away. And the side. same for this ponytail. Okay, and I'm just going to leave some little white areas in there. I think I'll fill this one in though just a little bit more. That's driving me crazy. I'm not usually leave the white kind of girl in there, but today I thought it would add a few little highlights in there and make it look cute. So next, let's go work on her dress, and for that we're going to use YR 24 and 21. So I've grabbed my YR 24 first, and let's go up here and do the dress. So let's do the top of her dress. So I've done underneath her arm and up that little bump she's got there. And let's do that side. And again under her arm like that. And then for her skirt, I'm going to go along this little accent piece that she's got there. This side, and do these cute little wrinkles. And then I want to do the accent, next accent on this bottom section. And then for her boots, let's go down the inside of this boot and along the sole. And then there's a couple little wrinkles. A couple wrinkles on that side. And along the bottom of her boot. And then I think I'll add a little bit up here on this top section. Like that. Then I'm going to go with YR 21 to fill it in. So touch down on your 24. And then just fill in that white section. And a little bit of a line there, so I'm just going to flick over that section just one more time. Okay, and then for the skirt, we're going to do the same thing. So touch down on your 24, and then pull up into your white. Let's work our way across. Oops, I colored that little accent piece. We'll erase that here in a second with our colorless blender. Got a little crazy there. And the top of her dress. Okay, and to fix that little spot there that I got the color on, I'm going to take my colorless blender. I'm just going to go over that real quick. And she also had a little spot down here on her shoe sole. So let's go ahead and fix that as long as we got our colorless blender out. Next, let's do these little accents on her dress, and for that I'm going to use R22 and R21. I'm going to start with R22. Let's do her boots down here first. So I'm going to take my R22 and I'm just going to color that cute little trim she's got on her boots all the way in. It's too small for me to play with, so I'm just going to do like that. And the same thing for this trim on her dress up here. I'm just going to barely take the tip of my pen and touch it to the paper because that line is pretty small. And just go right along the edge. And just do the collar. And these little buttons, give them a little dab. And then for these little pleats she's got on there, these little ruffles, I'm just going to go along the top of each ruffle. Like that. Same for this side. And nothing fancy, I'm just rubbing right along the top. And then I'm going to take my R21 to fill it in. Alright, and then what do we got left? Oh, we got these cute little flowers up here. So let's do the leaves. For that, we're going to use G21. And for the flowers, let's do YR21. And then for the little bands or little scrunchies in her hair, I'm going to use R22. And that takes us to this cute balloon. Alright, so for the balloon, we're going to use R22, 21, and 20. So I did use 3 colors on this, but I called it 2 because I used the R20 already on our cheek, so I didn't have to go get a new color. So let's start with our R22 first. And I'm going to color this cute little tie in her balloon. And then I'm going to just take my pen. Actually, let's go right along the edge here so I don't color outside the lines first. Usually go just like that, add a little bit of a color there. And then I'm going to touch down on that color and flick away so that my line gets smaller as my brush picks up at the end. See how much lighter it is out here at this side? I think I'll pull this up just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go with R21. And again, I'm going to go touch down on my 22 and just flick that color up. Alright, and then I want to go on this side, so I'm going to draw my little line here so I don't go outside the lines. I get a little crazy when I'm trying to do videos. It's hard because I'm not trying to turn my page everywhere. When I color myself, I would be turning her all over the place. Okay, now cute little white space we're going to fill in with R20. And then to darken her balloon up, I just went back over the whole thing again. So I've grabbed R22. R21. And then R20 to fill in that spot. And I'm just going to go over the entire balloon with my R20 just to soften all the lines. So there you have it. We colored that whole girl with just 12 colors and she turned out fabulous. Could she be more fabulous with more colors? Yes, she could. But just to show you that you don't need a million, she can look good if you just have a couple colors in each color range. So next, we are going to, actually here's the finished card, and my finished card, the girl is kind of, the paper's at an angle here, so I'm going to show you real quick how I did that. So I'm going to take my girl, and I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive on the back of her, and then I have my little piece of paper here. So I took her, and I set her on here, and I actually took her and I held her up to the light so I could make sure she was not off of the edge of this back paper here and made sure she's aligned how I want. And I'm just going to stick her on here like this. And then I took it to my little chopper and I cut this off. But I don't have my little chopper, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors because she's already perfectly aligned. And I'm just going to cut her. Oops, scissors are stuck. Cutting on the camera is a lot harder than it looks. And same for this side. We're just going to trim it like so. And then I'm going to pick her up. Oh, and I don't like how this side right here is not straight all the way. So I'm going to put her back down on there. And I'm going to trim it again. I want it to not have that little whoop-de-doo there at the end. My tape must have slipped when I flipped it over. So there I have her like that. So she's on there straight and, you know, she's crooked. And then she's actually on the card. I moved it over just a little bit so there's a little bit of this paper on the background that's showing there. So you may need to trim it just a little bit more off the page. But that's how easy it was. So that's a cute little Moe's digital pencil image called Love Signs. You can pick her up over at her store. She is a digital image. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.